everyone. In previous topic we have studied about various components and functions of an operating system. In today's video we'll see the topic kernel in operating system. So let us understand kernel with various examples. So now suppose if you want to work on any software like photo editing software or MS Office or any other software. So if there is no operating system you cannot work on software. In a various systems or the devices we find out the various hardwares and softwares. The hardwares we can see and touch it, but as softwares we cannot touch it. So there must be something which should connect the hardware with the software or software with the hardware, and that is done by the kernel. Kernel we can find out inside the operating system, and it is main part of the operating system. Kernel also uses the CPU for processing and calculations or any other work. So let us see the definition of kernel. Kernel manages the communication between software and the hardware. It acts as an interface between user applications and the hardware. See, some of the software demands audio, like media player demands audio to play the music and sound, whereas the photo editing software demands the visual so that it can edit the photos. So every software will be having different requirements. So every software has to be connected to the different hardwares. So which software to connect which hardware and which hardware to connect which software will be decided by the kernel, and it will be done by the kernel. Kernel can be found out in various laptops, various computer systems, smartphone devices and tabs. You can go to the settings of the devices and you can check out there the kernel version of your system or devices. So in this diagram you can see there is an application layer, there is a kernel layer, and there is a hardware layer where all hardware components are present. So this is the operating system where kernel is present, which interacts with the application and the hardware. Even in this diagram you can see kernel is an intermediary between the hardware and the software. So the kernel connects the hardware with the software. For example, I have installed one camera application in my phone. So when I try to open that application, that software will try to connect or access to camera hardware component, and when I click on button for picture click, that application will try to connect to camera LED flash component. So we need to give the permission to software to access that hardware components, and after clicking on photo, that application or app needs the permission to save that photo in the memory. So giving the permission or controlling this authority is given to the kernel, because kernel is between the hardware and the software. If any app needs to use CPU, or if any app wants to run in the background, if any app needs the memory, this all will be handled by kernel or done through kernel. So when you start the mobile phone or system, you can see that it is loading, logo is displaying, all software will be loaded, system is loading. This will be done through kernel only. Kernel is used in various operating systems, whether it is a Windows, Linux or Android or any other operating system. Another definition of kernel: in computing, the kernel is the central component of most computer operating system. It is a bridge between applications and actual data processing done at the hardware level. When a process makes a request of the kernel, the request is called a system call. So whenever there is a request from the user, the request can be in any form, whether the user wants to work on any software or to execute any program, any request, and that request is called a system call. In detail about the system call, we are going to see in the later chapters. Now let us understand the responsibilities of kernel. Central Processing Unit. With CPU, the kernel will decide for whom to give the CPU, which process the CPU must be allocated, and that will be decided by the kernel. Next, RAM. Multiple programs want to access to memory. Suppose you are working on different softwares at a time. Every software needs RAM, that is memory. Smaller software uses less RAM and bigger software uses large RAM. So, if there is no enough RAM, then your software will not be opened or it hangs. So, which software, how much RAM should be given will be decided and done by the kernel. Next is input-output devices. A kernel must maintain a list of available devices. So whenever the request comes from the user to perform input-output devices, the kernel will provide a convenient method for using the devices so that the user can use that. Next is memory management. Memory management, the kernel has full access to the system's memory, whether it is a secondary memory or cache memory. So whenever there is a request for the memory, the kernel should provide them. Kernel must allow different processes to access this memory. There are two modes of operations in operating system, user mode and kernel mode. So let us understand what is a user mode. The system is in user mode when the operating system is running a user application such as handling a text editor. See, by the name only you'll understand what is a user mode. See, user mode means where the user is going to run its applications. Applications like the user can work on the MS Word or play a game or listening a music or executing any programs. So this is what by default the user will be running the various application in the user mode. Next we'll see kernel mode. Kernel mode, it occurs when a user application that is being executed requires the help from kernel to access hardware or memory. There are some privileged instructions that can be only executed in kernel mode. See, in user mode, whichever the applications are executed by the user, if that applications needs the hardware, needs to access the hardware or memory, that time the request will be sent to the kernel and the kernel is going to provide them the required hardware or memory to the user applications. So, kernel is one restricted area where the user cannot interfere. User cannot directly access the kernel. So that's why the request will be sent to the kernel and the kernel is going to provide them the required hardware or memory or any other functions. Next we'll see kernel architecture. Kernel architecture is divided into user space and kernel space. So in this diagram you can see lower level layer is the hardware. Above that we have kernel space and above that we have system call and then we have user space. So the kernel will directly interact with the hardware, whereas the user cannot interact with the hardware. So whenever the user program or the application needs to access any hardware or memory, it must access with the help of the system call to the kernel. So the request of the user will be sent with the help of system call to the kernel. The kernel will recognize only the system calls and then the kernel will provide the required hardware or the memory to the user with the help of the system call. So in user mode, the executing code has no ability to directly access hardware or memory. Must use system calls to access hardware or memory. Kernel mode, it can execute any instructions related to hardware or memory. So this kernel part comes under the operating system. So this is the architecture of the kernel. In the next topic, we'll understand how actually the interaction happens between the user mode and kernel mode with an various examples. Thank you.